Hello, and super welcome to this amazing live show that is Destiny Chat. And I am inviting now one of my friend and colleague and whatever you want to say, Divya Thampi, and she is the smart productivity coach. And along with us, guess what? We are having our friend and guest, Dr. Sam K. Pillai, the founder of Destiny Drivers and the director of the Destiny Institute, the Science of Destiny Institute. So, Divya, what is running through your mind?
Hey, thank you, Ritu, so much for having us. And it's awesome to see Dr. Sam. So, Dr. Sam, the question that I had was, what is destiny exactly?
Incredible. So thank you very, very much for introducing beautifully, Ruthu. And thank you for the wonderful question, Divya, as well. Destiny, that's a beautiful question. And here we are to chat the destiny, right? And we are actually chatting complex issues casually. So I like that question, destiny. All right. So, destiny is a sequence of events, okay, that happen in everybody's life, driven, see, for some it is predestined, let's come there later, but it is driven by how you think, what you believe, feel, and how you make your choices, or how you decide, because we generally control our choices. And that is why we say we could actually drive our destiny, because we control our choices. We control our choices only until we choose.
Right.
The moment we choose, the choices will control us.
Wow.
When choices control us, we call it fate.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay?
Beautifully.
And when they end up right or wrong, we have that belief called karma. But all these three things come together, revolve together, and we need to understand that everybody who has the power to make a choice, which is part of a faculty of the mind, because the mind has three basic functions: to think, feel, and volatile, which is like to make a choice, will, the power of will. Okay. Now, and we all go ask God, they pray, to say, God, what is your will for my life? Okay. And we want to know, am I doing the right thing in my life? Is that the right will of the universe or God? Okay. But we forget to understand that we have a will and we can make choices and decide on things that needs to become a sequence in our life to be our destiny. Okay. And if it is built on values, nothing like it. Okay. Because the Greek calls this telos. Telos is to know and understand the end and then mark the beginning. It's a process, it's a journey. Okay. And everybody has this journey. And there is a pattern. Okay. One is the world, how the world perceive things. Okay. And another one is how the creator or the universe perceives things. Okay. And this is the law. The law says this way, that do not be conformed to the world, which means the pattern of how everybody does things, but be renewed or be transformed by renewing your mind. That is where the power of the mind actually steps inside, because
Wow.
we actually have that power, so that we renew the mind by the attitude, which means to say, anybody who wants to make a decision to have control over their destiny, they need to actually have an attitude to renew the mind. Why should I renew the mind? So that I understand the good, the perfect, and the acceptable will of my very existence. I repeat this again so that we understand, because every man needs to understand the good, the perfect, and the acceptable will or the purpose of our very existence. So it is important that we exercise and drive the mind the way we think. See, we all use this word consciousness, right?
Mm.
Okay, if I
Yes.
ask you this question, what is consciousness? What would you say?
Being
Divya,
aware.
tell me, what do you think of consciousness? Or Rutu, come on, tell me.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, Rutu, and then I'll take
Yeah.
a
So
shot.
it's being aware.
Being aware. Mhm.
So consciousness, yeah, I would have a similar answer. Is consciousness is being in the moment and not getting into an auto mode where you are just getting into automatic patterns, but like being present to what is going on with you.
Brilliant, because everybody uses this word consciousness.
Mm.
Okay, and let me tell you, consciousness, in simple terms, means mind in action.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
That's all consciousness is. Consciousness is mind in action, which means every time you put these three faculties to work, you think in a certain way, you
Mm.
feel in a certain way, you take a will, or you decide or make choices in a certain way. You are having your consciousness at work, which means mind in action is consciousness. Simple.
Awesome.
Because
Yeah.
we apply it consciously. That's why we say, I'm conscious about this. And everything that exists around you carries a consciousness. You can be wealth conscious, you can be money conscious, you can be health conscious. Okay. And see, let me tell you this way. You've heard this word called the things of the world, how the world chooses. For some things they worry, for some things they feel pain. There's such lot of chaos that happens in the world. There are habits, behaviors. Some people complain. I always say this: complainers complain, haters hate, lovers love. Okay, now here is the key. There are three kinds of consciousness. One you call the world conscious, because that is
Okay.
why we bother opinions. Some things happen to our head, we bother with opinions. And we feel hurt when somebody says something, which
Right.
is like, there's a world consciousness. And this
Right.
world consciousness will always be driven by the collective consciousness of the world.
Okay.
There is something called God consciousness, or universal consciousness, or divine consciousness. Okay, which is the consciousness that exists, giving direction for our very existence. The place of choice comes in between the world consciousness and the divine consciousness. There's
Okay.
always a battle, which one do I choose? What do I do? Which means to say the world's collective consciousness is world consciousness. The divine, purposeful, the all thoughtful, all powerful, all supreme, or all sovereign designer of the universe has a consciousness, and you call that the divine consciousness.
Mm.
The one who makes, decisions, which is you and me. This is called self consciousness. So
Ah.
the self
Wow.
consciousness always has a battle between these two consciousness: the God consciousness and the world
World
consciousness.
consciousness. Mm.
Okay. And what drives us more, okay, or what we
Mm.
choose
Mm.
to understand, align with, make choices with values, and understand the purpose of the larger design, that
Mm.
decides your destiny. Which means to say, if you're within the world consciousness and you're crowded with all this, and suddenly you realize one day that you need to make a shift,
Mm.
and now you begin to align yourself with the larger purpose of life, the divine consciousness, because now your self consciousness is active. And this happens when it's hurting, when it's painful. And it is good when it's hurting, when it's
Mm.
painful, when you're under pressure, when everything goes wrong around you, and you say, oh my God, your consciousness is crying, looking for help, because this consciousness is always dependent on the world,
Mm.
True.
It always looks for world's validation, which means the world consciousness validates, not based on values of the universe, but what they think their values are.
Mm.
Okay, when there is a disagreement, now this self consciousness now begins to seek out something, and now begins to align with the universal consciousness or the divine consciousness. This shift is what you call being renewed and transforming your life by the mind. Now
Wow.
you begin to think in a certain way. You begin to feel in a certain way. Now you begin
Mm.
to make choices in a certain way, that you don't choose your old habits. You move away from your old friends. You now begin to seek for one kind of a people that who are doing something that you want to do. Because now there is a sense of awareness, like Rutu said, you know, and this
Agree.
Right.
sets a journey. And every man has this journey, a move from the world consciousness to the divine consciousness
Mm.
by his will of self consciousness. And when this self consciousness turns around, this consciousness begins to prosper.
Wow.
This is the law. The law
Mm.
is, as much as your soul shall prosper, you shall prosper. Prosperity is defined and designed by your consciousness when you make that shift. So, destiny is a simple a journey.
Mm.
Everybody has a destiny,
Mm.
but this journey
Mm.
that is consciously defined, designed, and decided by you, you develop it and you dare drive it. That's how I call it. It takes
Wow.
some courage. You dare drive it.
100%.
Yeah.
True.
Because the world conscious is going to be very powerful. It's going to hold you back. Many years ago, I shared this with my wife. You need to let go of some things
Mm.
to let those things to let you go into life. Sometimes we need to let go of some things
Mm.
for those things to let you go into life, into your purpose, into your journey. We can't hold this and this.
Mm.
Sure.
Okay, which means to
Got it.
say, letting ourselves to be, to become the being that we are originally designed for. This journey is called destiny. Have I
Wow.
answered your question?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
it's quite a deep answer actually. Yeah.
yeah.
And thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So,
Because
Sam,
this is a casual chat on a complex issue. So
Yes.
thank you for asking that question. Yes.
yeah. And Sam, I want to just share one thing. You know what? I have seen people journey like they are maybe highly super successful in their career, maybe in their spiritual thing. And the
Mhm.
one common thing that I have always observed that they have immense pain in their journey. So while you
True.
shared about that, so it really remind me that the question that I always used to ask myself that why this is the common pattern. Is it
Hmm.
necessary to have that pain to really evolve to in this journey to become the greater version of yourself?
Absolutely. Because pain is purposeful.
Okay.
And when you
Sure.
use pain purposefully, you position yourself to greatness.
Super.
Simple.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the question that I had was that uh, is that transformation such a clear one? What I mean to say is you go through pain and do you straight away go from world consciousness to divine consciousness, or is it still a journey? Now, if that question makes sense to you, or would you like me to repeat that for you?
Transition.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Every transition has a phase, a process. Okay. Because when you make a decision, okay, it's a very simple process. It's not complicated at all. The day you decide, things begin to change. The issue is when you don't decide. And I always say this: indecision is a decision to fail.
Indecision. Okay. Not
Hmm.
making a decision is a decision. Okay. Hmm.
Not making a decision is a decision in itself.
Correct.
And it's a decision to fail,
Hmm.
not to succeed.
Yeah, totally
Okay.
agree.
So it is a process, it's a journey, because everybody in life has a journey, because everybody have different circumstances, different situations, and how you choose to overcome it makes that journey simple and easy. We just need to understand that we are divine beings
Hmm.
experiencing the physical,
Hmm.
right? Absolutely. And it's very easy for anybody to have that. See, the word used very beautifully: transformation. Transformation. You need to divide it into two. Formation is
Trans.
formation, we know that. Transformation, the word trans is something beyond you.
Okay.
The word trans means beyond. Transformation, which means you are working to form yourself beyond yourself, which is
Hmm.
based on the design of the designer of the universe, because he is the one who is beyond. If you have to call God the creator of all creation,
Hmm.
God, the creator of all creation, has to be beyond the creation. Yes or no?
Great.
If you have
Yes.
to say,
Can't be part
you
of the
know,
creation. Yeah.
True.
okay, because
Logically.
somebody who's, yeah, that, somebody who makes a phone cannot
Hmm.
be within the phone to make the phone,
Correct. True.
Yes. True.
right? Perfect. Which means God, the creator of all creation, is beyond his creation. The beauty is God, the creator of all creation, who is beyond the creation, also chose to be within the creation,
Ah, yeah, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Hmm.
not with the creation, but within the
Within the
creation.
creation. Hmm.
Okay? And that is why he gave powers which is supposed to be supreme, divinely
Yes.
operated. And that power is called the will. You have a will. And will is a powerful faculty of the mind, one of the most powerful faculties of the mind.
Hmm.
And that is why I say, where there is will, there is,
Away.
We.
yeah.
Hmm.
And the way we define God is a way maker. We call him a miracle worker. You look for healings, you look for miracles,
Hmm.
you pray to God to say that, make a way, and it is difficult. So what happens is, when you are seeking that higher power and looking for a way, the higher power who dwells within you now begins to show you the way. Now, this is the alignment shift from the world, because the world is also within you. And that is
Hmm.
why you are in the shell.
Hmm.
The divine is also within you.
Hmm.
And that is why there is a conflict. And there has to
Right.
be a point of a transition. So, this transition is very easy, very simple. It is just that we need to make up our mind to say, okay, now this is where I stand. I need to know what my destiny is. Who knows a product better than the manufacturer himself?
True.
Who knows it better?
Yeah.
So you begin to look up to the manufacturer. And now, this is what you call divine guidance or divine appointment, you know.
Mm.
But this is why people meditate, people pray. But actually speaking, this is the point of transformation. You're beginning to form from the world to a divine pattern. This shift can happen quick for some people and will take some time for certain people based on their choices. This shift needs one powerful word called surrender.
Aha. Okay.
That is the place
Mm.
that you look for that word surrender,
Mm.
which means you don't hold anything, but you surrender. That one single cell that begins to form a zygote surrenders itself to its new transformation. And that surrender multiplies many other cells to form a little baby fit to survive on earth.
Wow.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
So, which means to say, in the process of, because we all understand this, okay? We understand conception.
Mm.
But when you conceive, there is a period to carry,
Mm.
and then you deliver,
Mm.
okay? And that period of carrying can be very different for different people. For
Yeah.
some, it's going to be challenging. For some, it's going to be easy. Some will have a big stomach, and some will not even look that they are carrying for 6, 7 months. Some will have vomiting. Some will have nausea. Some will feel, repelling for something. Some will feel attracted to something. Some will gain weight. Some will lose hair. You know, it's a journey for different people, right? It's the same way. Transformation is a journey. So surrendering to the process of transformation, how? By thinking in a certain way, feeling in a certain way, and deciding in a certain way.
Okay.
That puts us in a position. So that's why I say pain is a beautiful position, or that opens up many possibility where you position yourself to greatness. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautifully explained, Sam. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm very
I
happy to
love.
see that some of the comments that we have received from the viewers. And
Mhm.
thank you so much for that, Jayan and Dr. Thomas.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm happy that the viewers are enjoying this as well. That's good to know, Rutu. Thank
Yes. Yes. Thank you. And when you shared about the surrender, right?
you.
So the commonly we have heard that you need to surrender to the process. You need to surrender to the higher power. Maybe
Mm.
so. What would you what would you actually share to these people? Like what we need to surrender to to ourselves, to the process, or to the universe?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. The word surrender is a very powerful thing. Okay, it's a power in itself. To surrender is a power. Okay, whoever you surrender to, you give them power over you. Okay,
Right.
when I say I surrender, I mean to say I give my power to you,
True.
which is power over me to you. So the word surrender is not supposed to be taken very lightly. It's a powerful word because whatever you surrender to has control over you.
Hmm. True that.
Mhm.
Okay?
True. True.
And that is where this powerful word addiction comes from. Okay, it's a process
Mhm.
of surrender over a period of time. So now what happens is it takes control. So when you say surrender,
Mm.
okay, surrender is not either to, it's not the process of giving away your powers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not giving away your powers to somebody or something, but using that power to evolve yourself to greatness.
Hmm.
Great.
Okay, which means to say, I'll give you an example.
Mm.
You surrender when you go to a college. Okay, because I've been into learning environments where I teach, where
Mm.
people who sit before me and learn from me
Mm.
will be more educated than me.
Right.
Okay, I've spoken to audiences elder than me.
Mm.
Now, what do? Is they don't surrender themselves to me. They surrender who they are to learn something from me to become something into the future. They are expanding, they are enlarging.
Hmm.
Actually speaking, they are surrendering themselves to themselves, which means to say they don't say. There are people like this, they're like, come on, you better be good, okay?
Yeah,
Speak well.
absolutely. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I've been there too, so yeah, I can
Yeah.
totally relate to that.
Very practical, right?
True.
There'll be
True.
people who'll say, especially when they have their students beside, they say, this guy better be good, okay? I'm going to shoot up something that he's going to get confused. Now
Mm.
that is not surrender. That is
Hmm.
not, that is not how you begin the process to learn or grow,
Mm.
because you're bouncing it back. But what do is you surrender is a process where you surrender yourself to yourself. See, where is love within you is within you.
Mm.
Where is anger? That's also within you. So there are times that you need to surrender,
Mm.
okay, to evolve.
Mm.
Because surrender is not a word, it's a power.
Wow.
It is a power that gives away power to whoever holds that word surrender upon you. So if I have to tell you, I will tell you, do not surrender to anybody but to yourself.
Mm.
How? By humbling yourself. You can use the word humble yourself. Okay, by humbling
Hmm.
yourself. Okay, being kind to yourself, by allowing yourself to go through that pain, allowing yourself to go through that transformation, by allowing yourself to become what you are originally designed to be. Okay, and you want to say, surrendering to the process that way, you can call it that way.
Mm.
Okay,
Great.
because surrender is a power which you need to use to make yourself more powerful, not powerless. So every time you use the word surrender and
Mm.
you feel powerless, that's a wrong decision and a wrong place.
Got that. Mm.
But
Right.
every time you surrender and you feel powerful, that is the right surrender.
Yeah.
Right.
When
Yeah.
you're with some people in a certain environment, you will feel, wow, you will be vulnerable, but you will feel awesome. You will feel powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
That
So
is
true.
the right surrender.
Yes, I know.
What do you
Hmm.
think, Divya, about it?
Yeah, I love this idea. And you know what? When you were talking about surrender and what, because I think the question that Rutu asked is such an important question, and I'm sure a lot of people had that same question. Like what is it that you surrender to, right? And as you were explaining, what came to my mind was, uh, like when we talk about mindset, Dr. Carol Dweck talks about growth mindset and fixed mindset. And I told you that I've been in that place where I'm looking at that person and thinking, let me see, what this guy is going to teach me, right? So actually, I'm not sitting there surrendering to anything. I'm sitting there with the intention to prove that I know better,
Mm.
right? And which also means that I'm functioning from a place of wanting to prove something, right? As against when I open my mind up and I say that I'm surrendering to my growth, like I want to learn, right? So it's
Right.
not about that person, it's not about that person's educational qualification, it is not about that person's age, it is about the wisdom that is coming from that person, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm opening myself up to growth. So uh, it really, that thought came to my mind, that when you open yourself up to growth, it is actually a form of surrender.
That is the right form of surrender.
Surrender.
I'll give
Mm.
you an example. It is not one form, it is the form.
Wow.
Okay,
Mm.
because surrender is power. I'll give you an example. It's a very beautiful example, and I'm certain your audience will certainly love it. Okay, let me
Yes,
share this.
we're waiting
You
to
take
hear
a
that.
seed. Okay, you take a seed.
Okay.
Okay, okay, you take a seed, and you're a very prayerful person, and you have miracle powers. Okay, you can count the stars and name its moves. Okay, now you hold the seed in your hand, and you continue to pray. God, let the seed grow. Let it develop. Now the seed is surrendering it in your hands. It's surrendering itself in your hands. You're holding it. That's a form of surrender, right? And you're praying, let it grow. And you're praying for, like, you're fasting for 40 days, 80 days, and you're praying. Do you think that seed will grow?
No.
Not at all.
Do you think it will
Not
sprout?
even seeds.
Impossible.
No,
So
forget it.
Right.
suddenly there is an enlightenment. A little child comes home and tells you, Uncle, what are you doing? You know, this needs water and sunlight for to grow. So you pour a mug of water straight on that seed. And he says, it needs a ground. So you put it on your marble floor, you pour a lot of water on it, and have the windows open for sunlight. Do you think that seed will grow?
No.
It won't. It will feel
Correct.
miserable. But why? Because it surrendered itself to you. It's you are in control of it. Now,
Mm.
take the same seed and sow it in the soil.
Mm.
Okay? Now tell me, do you need to pray for it to grow?
No.
It will automatically go.
It will automatically grow.
Yeah.
Why? Because that seed surrenders itself to the soil or something, a being that will make it grow. The soil is the environment for the seed to surrender.
Wow.
Mm.
When you say, what do I surrender to? It is the environment. You are the most powerful environment yourself to grow. Now, when the seed surrenders itself to the soil, the seed will not remain as the seed forever.
It will
Correct?
transform. Yeah.
Yes.
That is the right word. It
Mm.
is forming something beyond itself, which is within itself. The root comes out of the seed itself, which means the power of formation and transformation is within yourself. That
Mm.
ugly looking root will pop out. Have you seen seeds? They look very beautiful, very pretty, very shiny. Correct?
So true.
Very true. So when you sow a seed, what happens to the seed, do you think, Rutu?
It will
The
lose
seed
its
begins to grow.
form. It
Yeah,
will
it
lose
forms,
its
it begins to
form,
grow.
and
I love that. Great. What do you think, Divya? When you sow a seed, what
Yeah,
happens to the seed?
yeah, it starts, there's some kind of growth that starts to happen within the seed, so it becomes, it gets into a
Lovely.
different form. Yeah.
I love that. Here is the key. When you sow a seed, we all see growth, right? Actually,
Mm.
the seed dies.
Mm.
hmm,
It gives itself to the process of transformation. That is surrender. Because the seed knows it is in the right environment and I can allow myself to break open, bring everything in outside, put all my strength and energy to surrender to the one I trust and one I belong to. One will make me grow. And 3 days later, there will be little roots and one little
Leave.
will pop out.
Right.
You go and hit it, it'll break itself. It'll fall away. It's so flimsy,
Mm.
right? So weak. It'll look so
Mm.
beautiful. One thin little.
Shoot.
Now watch this. I'm sure you would have sown seeds, when you were young,
Mm.
because I did that when I was young in
Mm.
school. Okay, I
hmm,
love that. Okay, so I dig a little hole. I put the seed
hmm.
inside. Okay, then I closed it with a lot of mud. I poured a lot of water and I jumped on it. Because I have a feeling that the stronger it is set, the better it will grow.
Oh,
Okay?
okay. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
cementing the soil.
That's the
Right.
right word. I cemented it. 3 days later, 2 days later, when you go, you can actually knock it and it'll give you that sound. Tuck, tuck, tuck. It's solid rock. Okay? It's like you you've sealed it for good. Okay? But every day I go, I pour water and I expect it to grow. I expect it to grow. Okay. 4 days later, 5 days later, 6 days later, something popped out. That leaf, little thin leaf, popped out. Okay. Now it looks very weak, right? But understand this, the power of surrender is this, that weak, thin little thing broke itself off, used all its energies and power to break through the cemented soil, which is not easy, huh?
Yeah.
That soil is rock solid. I've put
Correct.
it's messy with all water around. It's shabby. It's a new environment. It does not know where it's going, what it's becoming. And breaking through that soil and cracking open the earth and come out is not easy. That is the power of surrender, which means every time you surrender to something or someone, it is only to grow. And understand this, anything that has life in it will grow.
Oh.
Hmm.
You cook the seed, it won't grow. Okay? So if you think you have life in you, you're bound to grow. You just need the right environment. Okay? And you need to surrender, because that process will, you will lose yourself at one point of a time. You don't know what's happening around you. Everything around you will break and fall apart. Everybody who were with you before will fall apart, right? And everything will
Yes.
look chaotic. You're like, oh my good God, I am losing everything and everybody around me. How do I survive through this? But that is power, because that process gives you power to break through anything that's upon you, that's holding you back, that's holding your potential back. and will come out with great power. Why? Because it has life in it.
Wow.
Now, if you have life in you can be certain that you can break through any difficulty, any challenge, just by allowing yourself or
Or
surrendering
surrendering
yourself
yourself.
to the right environment. Isn't that
That's so
beautiful?
beautiful. It's so
So
beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
I
Now,
can
let
totally
me
relate to it.
absolutely, that's beautiful. Now, let me, mark this so that you will remember.
Mm,
Anything that has life in it will grow,
mm.
and anything that grows is measurable.
Okay. Wow.
Okay?
Mm.
Yeah, anything that has life in it will grow, and anything that grows
Growth is
is
measurable.
measurable. And that is why, the growth needs to be measured. You should know where you are going, what you are doing in life, making the right choices every single step forward.
Mm.
Isn't that beautiful? Seriously.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Yes.
Mm.
And that marks the journey, beautiful journey of life. And this is what you call destiny.
Oh, wow. I
Amazing.
love that.
So yeah, I'm very
And the
happy that
power of
Divya,
surrender. Yeah,
yeah, I'm very happy that Divya has asked the question because the show's name is Destiny Chat. So I'm very sure that along with us, so many people have the absolute clarity about
Yeah.
what
lovely.
is destiny.
I love
Yeah.
this. Absolutely. This is
It's been
our
a
destiny tonight.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes, absolutely.
It's so beautifully explained, Dr. Sam. I mean, I think this is a question I've had in my mind for a very long time about, and also to some extent, I would say that hesitation to surrender. You know,
Mm,
because, and I'm sure a lot of people will resonate because if you think of yourself as somebody who is independent and strong and that kind of a person, then the idea of surrender is scary.
very true. Very, very true. It is a very scary process. And that is why you need to be part of an environment that will help you grow. That
Mm,
it will challenge you. The process will
right.
challenge you. Sometimes it will break you. It will bring something ugly out of you like a root. The root is not good looking like a seed. Yeah, seriously.
True.
And imagine the seed will look at it and say, "Oh my good God, something nasty is coming out of me." Yeah. And
True.
you will question whether you are in the right place. Is this the right environment? But that is actually making you grow.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every mess is actually carrying a message within itself. And that
True.
message is for each one of us to grow, to transform, to become what you're originally designed to be.
Become. Wow.
Absolutely.
No. Thank you so much because now that you have explained it, even people who have had that fear, it helps people like me to have the faith.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is
To move
transformation, the move from fear to faith.
faith.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
beautiful. I love that.
Yes, yes,
I love
yes.
that.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So
So
thank you for asking that question, Rutu, about
yeah,
surrender.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sam, for sharing and showing that light, that what it really
Thank you.
means by destiny, and really what it means by and what is the importance of doing the surrender.
Mm.
So
Lovely.
I'm very, very happy and grateful that this is the time well spent. Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
And I will also like to share to all the people who are watching this as live that expect more every Sunday from us.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot to talk about this journey, you know. because transformation in every area of our life really matters. It can be at the space of yourself personally, within family, money matters, professionally, because everything demands surrender and everything is part of your journey, your destiny. Okay. And skillfully and willfully designing it, developing it, and driving it to the greatness that you're originally designed for is a choice. So exercise your will, and as Rutu beautifully said, ask more questions. Okay, suppose you have some question in your mind, okay, that you think that we could discuss, because we are very happy to share everything that is deposited in us, within us, by the divine. Okay, because Rutu is extremely skillful, and she teaches a lot of amazing things about home, about mind, about emotions, and how you declutter it and have your journey to greatness again. Divya has positioned herself in another journey where you move and work smart to be productive, to be prosperous, because your productivity connects to your prosperity. Okay.
Absolutely.
And yeah, absolutely. So this is a triangle of great wisdom right there. So ask any question that is bothering you right there in the comment, and we are here to address it as we progress every Sunday. Thank you for the welcome, Rutu. Thank you for the
Thank
Thank
beautiful
you
you.
so
invitation
much
to
for
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for being part of this amazing session. And thank you so much to each one of you who is actually watching this session as a live or maybe as a replay. Please share in the comment that if you are watching it right live right now, please comment hashtag live. And if you are watching it as a replay, please type hashtag replay. And I'm super excited to meet all of you live next week, next Sunday.
This is
Awesome.
incredible. Do you have something to share, Divya?
I absolutely enjoyed this session. We started this out thinking, we weren't very sure how this was going to pan out. But it's been such an eye-opening session, and what I love about it is that we get to learn, and all of us who are watching this get to learn together. So
Isn't
thank
that
you so much,
amazing?
Ritu, for starting this off. And thank you, Dr. Sam, for being here and enlightening each one of us. And thanks to every single one of you who's out there watching this, because you are designed for a great destiny.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Remember, you are
absolutely.
marked for greatness within you, and it is your choice to develop yourself, grow yourself, and excel to the greatness that you're designed for. Rightly said. So, thank you very, very much one more time, all of you. Such a joy to be with you tonight.
Yes, bye. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.